If you're a health or life coach who is looking to grow a successful coaching business, then today we're going to be talking all about the 6 key parts of business you need to know about, you need to focus on to help you get that successful, joyful business that you're looking for. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Wholehearted Business Show. I'm Laura. I help health and life coaches get more clients, grow their income and live the best lives while they do it. And today on the show, I want to share the 6 key parts of your business that you want to give attention to, that you want to focus on, that you want to tweak and adjust in order to get to that place of having a successful, joyful, wonderful coaching business that is doing all the things that you want it to do. In my work with health and life coaches, what I often see is that it's really easy to hyper-focus on one specific part of business, whether that's your offers, whether it's your marketing, and sometimes we go even further and focus on one specific marketing platform. Sometimes we will just look at our onboarding systems, but when we are making sure that we look at the whole picture, every single part of our business, the important parts, which I'm going to explain all of this in a second, this is when we actually start to see success. I work with a lot of health coaches and, we all get to this point, I think a lot of us do, where we really start to understand that the solution to a lot of people's issues or problems is a holistic approach. It's very rarely just focus on sleep. It's very rarely just focus on movement, just focus on food. Usually it is a holistic approach that we would give people as part of our work. And the same goes for business. So I want to give you 6 key parts of your business, this really holistic way of looking at your coaching business and the different parts that you want to, nurture, give attention to, focus on to help you get to that place where you have a really successful coaching business. These 6 key areas are also part of Wholehearted Business, which is my 12-month group program, which is opening for new members really, really soon. So if you are a coach who is struggling to get clients, who is just finding everything overwhelming, doesn't know what the next step should be, doesn't really know what they should be doing, which is, really normal and common for a lot of coaches, then do check out Wholehearted Business. It is going to give you all of these 6 key areas that you can support to grow your business. It's going to give you key actions. It's going to give you lots of training. You're going to get loads of support from me. I'm going to be right there alongside you, chatting with you and supporting you. So do check that out. I'll put a link in the description. So the first key area of your business to focus on is something I call your foundations. Now, just like a house, if you don't have foundations, you're totally fucked. So we want to make sure that we're getting those foundations right. And for me, again, this is all just the way that I categorize it in my head. And hopefully this is helpful for you guys as well, thinking about these 6 key things. But like I said, the first key area is your foundations. And for me, these are things like, is your niche and message well defined? Because again, without this, and what we'll find as we go through is that without any one of these key areas being focused on, giving attention to, tweaked and sorted out, you're going to really struggle. So without your niche, without your key message, people are not going to know what you stand for. They're not really going to know what you're about. If you can't define how you help people and what you help them with, you're going to get really, really stuck. So your foundations are really around making sure that your niche makes sense, making sure that your messaging all makes sense. And also part of this, I like to think, is also having some kind of presence online. So this is probably your website or some version of that. So those are the key things that I think are really foundational. Part of this stage might also be looking at market research. There's all sorts of different things that go into really setting that solid foundation for your business, because without that, you're really, really going to struggle. Another really big part of your foundations is also making sure that you are building your business based on your desired lifestyle and your desired results. When we try and build our business without reflecting on that, when we are not thinking about our values as an individual, the kind of ways that we want to live our life, I think we're missing out on a massive part of why we actually start a coaching business in the first place. And it's so much easier to start with that than having to go backwards later on when you've already set things up that perhaps aren't working for you. And obviously it's totally fine, and all businesses evolve and change, but really starting with that is such a powerful process, because if you really understand, your values, the way that you want to feel in your business, your strengths as an individual and as a coach, and build your business on that foundation, as well as having, a niche, a message that makes sense, that's really compelling, that you understand, that you're clear on, that your people are clear on, and having a website that communicates all of that, again, you're going to get stuck. The next part of your business is marketing, obviously massively important. And people get, and I certainly did this, get marketing a little bit wrong. And this is something that I'm covering in the next 2 weeks. I am running a live 2-week program with a training. If you are watching or listening to this really early on Monday, the 9th of September, you can squeeze in really, really quickly. If you check out the link in the description, you squeeze in really, really quickly. It's just £5 or $7 for the 2-week live program. And we're going to be talking all about marketing and creating a marketing plan. But people get really, really mixed up with marketing. And also there's just been such massive shifts, like seismic shifts in the marketing space and in what works and what doesn't. So I'm going to cover all of that in this program. But if you miss that, that's fine. There'll be other ways that you can get that information from me. But marketing is, how are we putting ourselves out there for new people to find us? If people do not know that we exist, our business is going to really, really struggle. People need to know that we exist, and then we need to go back to our foundations and make sure that we've got that messaging and that niche right. So these things all kind of stack up. So your marketing is really, really essential. And there's lots of different ways that you can approach marketing, lots of ways that you can make marketing work for you. Marketing doesn't equal social media, not at all. There's so many different ways that you can approach it. But essentially, marketing is about, how do people know that you exist? And how do the right people know that you exist as well? So that's a whole big topic, but you want to obviously be looking at your marketing. The next section is your lead generation / email list. And again, these are just the way that things kind of slot in my brain. So some of these terms are probably not technically like the correct marketing-y bullshit terms, but in my head, this is how they sit. And for me, your lead gen / email list is where you kind of take the people who are finding you through your marketing and you're taking them through a process that kind of bridges that to your sales process. And again, like, there's different versions of this, and how this is applied with different offers is, there's some nuance in that. So often this is kind of entangled in an email list kind of situation, but not always. But some kind of lead generation is basically where you take people through a process or a journey that takes them from just finding you out in marketing land, out in online world land, and kind of takes them through so that you can actually sell to them in a much more profound way. So again, lots of nuances in this, lots of different ways that we approach it. But when you don't have a lead generation process, you're going to struggle. The next part of your business that you want to focus on is your sales. And again, this is such a common part of business, coaching businesses in particular, where people just kind of forget that it exists. And again, this was me for many, many years. I did not really think about sales as a specific part of my business that needed attention. And sales is essentially, how are we converting those leads into actual customers and clients? How are we doing that? What does that process need to look like? I recently ran a program called the Launch and Sales Fix, and this is all about me trying to share my approach to what this looks like in business. And it really is quite profound. It makes a huge difference when you actually give that some attention and understand what that needs to look like in your business. Again, we're at this point, I think, in the online space and in the offline space where we can't half-arse this anymore. Like, I feel like there was, certainly over COVID and pre-COVID, there was a lot of businesses were kind of getting carried on a wave of, people were wanting to engage in this kind of stuff. It was a lot easier. You can't half-arse it. Like, you can't not have a sales process and expect your business to work. You need to have some kind of actual thought out, intentional. I think that is a really good word for a lot of these different parts of business, is you need to have some intentionality behind each of these different things to make your business work. And like I say, the same goes for sales. So you want to be thinking about what your sales process is, for whatever offers you have, which nicely brings me on to the next part of business, which is your offers. So again, you want to have offers that make sense, not just for your people, but for you. I have a full course called Create Your Aligned Offer. And it's really around creating fun, exciting offers that are actually aligned for you, that actually work for you as an individual as well as your people, and finding the right balance in terms of the way that you deliver something and the way that you price something. So your offers, and having the right offers for the right people that also help meet your business goals, is quite an art in itself. And again, when that intentionality is not there with your offers, when you just kind of creating a 12-week coaching program and bish bash bosh, you're done, which, to be fair, like, that's not a bad place to start, but it's unlikely that that's the place that you're going to end. Having some intentionality around that can make a huge difference in your business. And then finally, the last section of your business that you want to have some focus on is something that I kind of encapsulate as your internal systems, planning and mindset. These are things like, do you have onboarding systems set up? Are you, doing some work on your mindset, because it is so profound? Like, not everything is mindset, but a whole lot of stuff is mindset. Like, are you doing something around that? Are you actively planning? Again, being intentional. Now, not everyone's like a massive planner, but I think it's really difficult to run a business without some kind of intentionality behind what you're doing and some kind of forward planning to a degree. It does make a really, really big difference. There we go. We've kind of covered those 6 areas. So I'm going to run you through them again. And again, like I say, this is how I have categorized things in my brain based on my 12 years of experience in running a coaching business. So we've got those foundations: your niche, your message, your website where you essentially communicate all of your stuff, and also basing your entire business on this foundation of, these are my values as a person. This is how I want my life to look. This is how I want my business to support my lifestyle. And actually building your business on that foundation is really, really powerful. Then we've got your marketing, massive area, but essentially this is, how am I being visible? How do people know that I exist? And how am I attracting the right fit people? That's really, really important. So that's obviously a massive area, marketing. The next part is lead generation / your email list. And this is really about how are we taking those people who are finding us through our marketing efforts and taking them through a process that brings them towards our sales process. And again, often this looks like email list type stuff, but not always. But having some intentionality behind what that actually looks like is really, really key. Then we've got sales, which obviously is massive. We want to have a thought out way of approaching sales depending on what our offers are, which again brings us into offers and making sure that our offers are well thought out, that they work for the people that we want to attract and that we want to work with, but also work for us and help us meet our business goals, because this is where we get into pricing. This is how we make money in our business, is through our offers. And then finally, we have our internal systems, planning and mindset, all of the stuff that kind of happens behind the scenes that makes your business function. So those are the 6 key areas that I believe any coaching business that wants to be successful needs to have some intentionality around, basically. And they're not linear, you can kind of progress through each one of those different sections in turn, but often you want to do a little bit of one and then a little bit of the other and kind of weave all of these things together. For example, if you're working on a website, you're probably going to want to think about your offers, at least initially, to be able to put them on your website. Then you might kind of go back to your offers once you've experimented with your kind of marketing and lead generation process and your sales process. You're going to want to jump into your internal systems and planning and mindset stuff. It's all sorts of different points. So all of these things kind of coexist and kind of weave together in a wonderful, beautiful way to create a wholehearted business. And like I said, these are the foundational pieces of how I break up and think about the stuff that I'm teaching in Wholehearted Business, which is my 12-month group program. We will be opening really, really soon on Monday the 16th of September for a week. You'll have a week to come and join, ask any questions that you've got. But it is a year-long program. If you are looking for a place to come to be supported, to grow your business based on really strategic, simple stuff that you can take and make it aligned for you. Like, everything I try and teach is not this way and no other way. There's kind of enough variation in there to be able to look at what I'm teaching and to look at your business. Again, like, a massive part of what my work is all about is you are an individual. The way that you want your business to support your life is going to be individual to you. The work that you're going to do is going to be individual to you. And it's about tailoring all of this stuff that exists out there that we see working in a way that is going to make sense for you. And always there as part of Wholehearted Business to really support you to do that. We also have the most wonderful community of other coaches. We've really got a lovely, lovely group of people from all over the world who are part of Wholehearted Business, who are so supportive of one another. It is just the loveliest community. I'm so honestly proud that I have brought these people together in this space to all grow their coaching businesses. It's just really, really wonderful. So if that sounds good to you, do look out for that. Like I say, get on the wait list, get on the Wholehearted Business wait list. If you head over to the Wholehearted Business page, I'll put a link in the description and you can get on the wait list and be the first to find out when we open. And yeah, come and join me for 12 months. 12 months. I mean, think about how different your business would be after 12 months of getting all of the trainings and support that I offer divided up through those 6 different key areas, but also not just the training and the courses, because let's face it, training and courses are fine, but sometimes you need a bit of direction support to know where to go, like what to actually focus on now. And a lot of the conversations that I've been having with people in Wholehearted Business recently has been, Laura, like, what should my next step be? and me being able to ask them questions, to listen to where they are in their business, what their situation is right now, and give them the next steps that they need so that they never feel that overwhelmed, I don't really know what I should be doing feeling, because that's not a very nice feeling. We don't want to be feeling like that. And the good news is you don't have to in your coaching business if you come and join Wholehearted Business, because I'm there to give you that support. I'm not promising that you're going to make 6 figures or 7 figures. If you listened to my episode of the show a few weeks ago, you'll know that that is not my bag. But what I can guarantee is that you will be supported, you'll be listened to, you will be given information that is based on what works, and you will get all the support in the world to help you build your coaching business. So like I say, do check out that link and come and sign up for the waitlist if you're interested. But even if Wholehearted Business isn't right for you right now, just thinking about these 6 key areas can be really, really helpful, because genuinely, if you are missing something from one of those, your coaching business just isn't going to work as well. And like I say, the key things that I think I missed out on for a long time was sales, and a really thought out kind of the really thinking about the lead gen, but also in marketing. There's a key thing about marketing that really changed the game for me in terms of the way that I needed to think about it and the reminders that I needed to have. And that slotted in and made all the difference once I kind of got my head around that. So there's always these key things, and I think we all have strengths and we all have places that we tend to naturally go to that feel good. Like we have parts of business that just feel easier, and that where it feels easier to show up in them. And that's great, build on your strengths, like double down on your strengths. But sometimes, because we do need to be intentional about all of these different things, we need to find a way of being intentional in that area, even if it doesn't feel natural to us. For example, sales can sometimes feel a bit unnatural and a bit icky, but there are ways that you can make it work for you. So as always, guys, I really hope that's been helpful. Please let me know if you have enjoyed this episode of the show. You can pop me a DM on Instagram. I'm at Wholeheartedly Laura. Please come and give me a follow. Please let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought of this episode of the show, or leave me a comment below. If you're watching on YouTube, come and give me a like and subscribe. My subscriber numbers are slowly going up on YouTube. I'm really chuffed. So if you're watching me on YouTube, thank you so much. And yeah, I will see you next Monday, guys. Take care. Bye.